there, you're broken. Oh. 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 Why are you broken? What's going on there? What's happening there? What's that all about? What's that all about? Do 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 do. Didn't sleep. Oh no, that is not good. No. Well, I'm sorry about that. That sucks. That does in fact suck. Outfit check. It's not a banger outfit today. These are comfy clothes. Well, jeans aren't that comfy, but it's big hoodie vibes today. And my hair looks bad. And the vibes are low, guys. I've not done enough stuff today. Oh, I need to send over one of the Patreon drawings that I did. Where did I put my iPad? There she is. I had onion rings. Like a crisps or actual onion rings. Pochi and I were... Sorry, I'm late. It's that I was already running late. And then Pochi came onto the bed when I was trying to get ready. And he wanted to cuddle and was making biscuits. So I couldn't leave him. I hope you can understand that he was making biscuits. Or making bread, as I would say, because I'm not American. And once a cat starts making bread, you can't stop them. It's quite a horrible thing to do if you stop them. So... You slept great. I didn't sleep too badly, to be fair. I kind of woke up feeling all right, which is a rare occurrence. Yeah, I've never heard of those. Hi, Eli. I mean, L. Every time I read that wrong. Can you believe it? I certainly can, because I read it wrong every time. How are we doing, chat? Are you good? What did we do? I forgot that the last time I streamed was when we did the one at the weekend, the hide and seek, which was really fun. It was really, really fun. It was so fun. I loved it. That was a banger. What if literally fun little mod pack. Really want to do that again. Can you do it again? I'll see if anybody wants to. I will see if anybody wants to, because it was really good. I'll ask around. I would like to do it again. It definitely needs it needs some tweaks to make it. Hi. Hello. Everything okay? Hi. You want to come? No, you don't want to come say hello? Mr. Bears? No? Okay. No worries. No worries, Mr. Bears. I would really like to do it again. Yeah. I would very much like to do it again. He's screaming. No, he's been a good boy today. He's been a very good boy. He's been chilling. He's been so brave. Guys, he's actually been really, really brave. You know why? Because the window men were here and he didn't even cry. He didn't even cry about it. Even though the window men were here. Which is very brave behavior for a very brave boy. A very brave boy indeed. Yeah. Many worries for me. Oh no. Oh no. He was very brave. So he's been good today. He's been very good. And he hasn't been waking me up in the middle of the night either, which is very nice. Pochi be like, nah. No, he still cry. He still cry plenty. Hi. How you doing? How you doing? Hello. I'm trying a lot out of it today, chat. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm going away this weekend. And I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm like going away, I find it really like difficult to lock in the days before. Like I really struggle to concentrate on anything. Like I really struggle with that whenever I'm off somewhere. Like the days before, I'm like, but I'm going away. And that's all I can think about. But I actually have a lot of things that I need to do, and I should have done a lot more today, which I think is not great. But that's okay. Yeah, I'm kind of in limbo. It's kind of limbo vibes, but that's okay. We're doing a presentation today. I told you guys that I was hosting a presentation night with my friends, and you guys said that you would like to know what my presentation was. And I said, okay, we're going to do that. So it might not be like a mega long stream, which is fine because I have lots to do, and I will be streaming tomorrow. So you'll be getting another stream tomorrow as well, I expect, if all goes to plan. But you're getting a little presentation stream, and I'm hoping you'll find it interesting. I kind of feel like you won't, but that's okay. This one piece of hair keeps falling out from the back, and it's driving me crazy. I was gonna do this. You love a presentation, Cam? Well, you're gonna stick around. You're not about to disappear, are you? You're not about to disappear, are you? I hope not. I hope not. You're staying forever. You better be. I'll be really upset if I find out you've gone walkabouts. Oh, I forgot I bought some milk chocolate batons. Yeah, yummy. Yummy. No one needs to do their work here. Don't even worry about that. I don't even know what work is. Evidently, because I spent most of the day on my phone by accident because I'm in limbo. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. Whoopsie daisy, even. Maybe even whoopsie daisy. Oh, you know what I am going to do? You know what I am going to do? I'm going to go sort that chat overlay out right now. Right now. In this very moment, in this very, 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 very moment, I'm going to fix it. How do you feel about that? Oh my God, hi Watermunch. Oh my God, Watermunch, I forgot to respond to your message. You sent me a message and I forgot to respond to it. I'm sorry, it's been a very busy month for me. And I've been monumentally bad at staying on top of it. Chronically bad at staying on top of it. So I hope you will forgive me. Wait, no, what? Custom. Oh, there we go. I want it to transparent. Peglu! Thank you for the gifted subby. Thank you very much. Text settings. Let's make it bigger. No. Okay, that's fine. Pick a font. Well, I'm just going to stick to Arial because it needs to be readable for people. It needs to be a readable font. Wait! Oh, it's September! Okay, Slay, I'm so glad neither of our brains like to concentrate properly. This makes me feel great. And I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean it sincerely. Okay, chat, I'm just sorting out the thing. And then can I do that? No, I can't. Okay, so save chat. Here we go. And then copy overlay URL. And then I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to do this. 1920. 1080. I'm going to do that. Oh, that's just big. I'm just not synergized with anything that's ever going on. Wait, you can see that. Look at that. Look at that. There you are, chat. There, that's where you are. Do you see yourself? I think I'm going to have to switch this slightly and do text settings. Let's go 25.
Me to actually speak out about my stomach pains, and I found a doctor who actually believes me and is trying to help autism for everything, and here's to hoping it gets sorted. Red
oh, I'm so pleased to hear that. Well, I'm sorry that it's taken you a while to be able to do that, but I'm very proud of you. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. There you go. That's easier to read. There we go. How there. Now, you're wonderful. You're here. How do you feel about that? And I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. I hope that you get somewhere with it and you can start to feel better soon. I really hope so. There you go. You happy now? You're here. You're on the chat. You're on the chat. I probably need to create 2 different ones of these widgets because obviously if I'm here, you guys aren't. But, you know, this goes all the way up the side, so it's not really ideal. Oh, actually, does it go all the way up the side? I'm just going to spam the chat. Spam, spam. Eloise is spamming. Yeah, it does go all the way up the side. Okay, cool. Hi. Okay, chat, we're doing a presentation today. I hope this feels exciting for you. You're getting a look into my mind and also, well, no, it's just my mind and the things that I find interesting. And we're going to be doing a very fun little presentation. And I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to like it. I think... Oh my god, wait, Luan's here. Was that Luan? Did I miss Luan? Oh my god, it's Luan. It's Luan. I realize I need to do this, probably. No, I don't. Well, I've done it now. Well, I've done it now. Okay, we're going to do a presentation. You saw a sneaky peeky of this? You did! Wait, no, you saw the one that I'm not presenting today. Yeah, you saw the one that's not getting presented. That one's a little too personal. You're getting a different one. But you were there, so Luan and Owen popped by. You still have my drill. I say my drill. It's not my drill. Luan and Owen popped by because they needed to pick up a drill. And they saw some of the presentations. You see what is going on here? What is going on with my hair? Oh, she's making me cross today. It's giving flop era. And then if I do that, it's giving little Victorian boy. I'm going crazy. But yeah, we're doing a presentation. I don't even think I'm due for a haircut. I cut my, I look like a boy. But yeah, chat, are you ready? Can I get a weddy? A weddy in chat if you're ready. See it, Luan gets it. Okay, Slate. Oh, I didn't realize the music had stopped. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. I didn't realize it had stopped. Okay. Fake Super's saying ready. Dang, I know, right? Okay. Let me get us ready. I wasn't ready. That's what you didn't think about. Wait. No. That's not what I need. Wait. Beck's streaming and I've still got this. We could just watch Beck stream. Beck's playing Geoguessr. So what do we think this is, guys? What do we think this is? It's given very England. That's very England core. But the wires aren't. The wires overhead are not very England core. That's not what I meant to do. I was meant to do this and then press this button and then do this. And you can't see what I'm doing now. You're on my mind. Already gave you the time and the place. Okay. I'm gonna need to move my camera down. Nope. There we go. Okay. Hi guys. But the presentation is beginning. This is my presentation. It's called Everything I've hyperfixated on over the last 12 months, but it gets worse as we go on. And by worse, I just mean kind of low-key more embarrassing for me that I hyperfixated on this thing. So this presentation isn't funny. I don't know why you're laughing. It's not funny. This is deeply neurodivergent. I've tricked you all into being seated while I info dump about everything. You're an idiot. Aside Luan and maybe Cam. Okay, so I'm going to start off with some honorable mentions here. These are things... I've done this presentation in a way that you shouldn't do presentations, by the way, because I had too much information that I wanted to say and I didn't want to forget anything. As a presentation, less words equal better. Key information. However, for this, I have I've just put lots of words because I had too much to say and I didn't want to forget any of it. So this isn't a good presentation. This is a bad presentation. But I just kind of went. I can hear Pochi being mischievous. So here are some honorable mentions. These are things that I feel are just honestly second nature to me at this point. They're just who I am as a person, and I don't really think they're a hyperfixation. So first of all, we've got rice bowls. Everybody knows here I love a rice bowl. Love to make one for dinner. Just wonderful. Is there going to be a test on this? Yep. You have to recount every single slide. M&S cookies. Banger. Just really good. Can't buy them anymore because I can't trust myself to eat them in a normal amount of money. Normal amount of... Why do I read the word money? I spend too much money and I can't eat them with a normal... I don't know. They're too good, okay? Diet Cola beverages. I just love me a Diet Cola-based beverage. I had one, oh my God. I had one in Cologne that was really good. And I can't remember the name of it, but it was really, really nice. It was kind of almost a bit botanical, but it was really good. It wasn't Fritz Cola, but Fritz Cola is good too. Vinted. Sponsor me, please. Let's work together, Queen. Diva, I'm calling you. Diva, I'm calling to you. Diva, please work with me. I have so many fun things that we could do together. Next we have Pride and Prejudice. Obviously, you guys know my favorite film in the world, alongside The Nice Guys. Shout out to the day that I watched it. And immediately hit replay as the credits are rolling because I sat there and I was like, oh, I really enjoyed that. And I went, I really want to watch that again. So I did. Immediately. And then I watched it with Ollie 2 days later. And obviously Minecraft, let's be real. It's the main thing I stream. So there you go. We can't really do this without mentioning that. I was going to add fun facts to a lot of these slides, and then I just didn't. But the most common type of donburi, which is a rice bowl, in Japan is gyudon, which is thinly sliced beef. But that's not my preference for rice bowls. I prefer chicken. I just do. So, are you ready? Number 1. Oh, I'm not clicked on the thing. It's the summer I turned pretty. Yay! Yay! I think about this show all of the time. How many versions of Pride and Prejudice you want? No, it's 2005's version that I care about the most. Even though Colin Firth is a Darcy in the television version. So this show I love so much. Obsessed with it. I will watch the episode on a Wednesday when it comes out, and then I will immediately end the episode and watch edits from the episode until the next episode comes out the week later. It's all I think about. It's all I think about. The only reason I haven't watched many edits this last week is because the last episode was kind of dead. So I got into it through TikTok, and I kind of just skipped to season 3. I didn't bother watching the first 2 seasons. I just binged all of season 3, and then I listened to all of the audiobooks within one weekend, which was just a bit intense. Every time Ollie would walk in, I would be listening to the audiobook, and I'd kind of get a bit annoyed if he tried to talk to me because I was listening to the audiobook. I'm going to Paris. The current episode, spoiler if you're not caught up, are set in Paris, and I'm giddy about it. I'm giddy. I am absolutely giddy about the fact that I'm going to be in Paris while the episodes are set in Paris. No one talk to me. No one talk to me. This is the best. I'm living my belly life. I'm really excited about it. Okay? I've never gotten to... you know what? the thing, when you're like 15 and you're really into shows, you just love them so passionately. And then people tell you that's cringe. And I've decided, no, I'm going to love things like I did when I was 15. And it's really exciting. Anyway, I have a concerning level obsession with Comrade Fisher. Yeah, her name's Isabel, so her nickname's Belly. But before anybody's like, isn't he like 18 in the first one? I skipped season 3, in which he's like 24 or something. So like, don't make me seem weird, okay? The adult version of Comrade Fisher. I'm not telling you anymore. It's really good. It's really, really good, okay? The amount of belly comments on our wedding post. Wait, why were there belly comments on your wedding post? I can't work out why. Neither of you look like either of the characters at all. Team Comrade. This is the current generation's Team Edward. Yeah, no, there's nothing in the show that would make me relate to your wedding in any way. The only thing is Owen has curly hair and the character Jeremiah has curly hair, but we don't like Jeremiah. We do not like Jeremiah. He's not a good guy. Anyway, this fun fact that was there for my friends, because my friends' favorite shows are Sex and the City, The Sopranos, and Glee. But Glee didn't film fake scenes, which apparently is how Klain got leaked. Fun fact, I didn't know that until this weekend. Next, we have Volcanoes. Do you see what I mean about too much information? Sorry about that. I just kind of forgot how to do a good presentation because I was too excited. I got really, really obsessed with Volcanoes. I spent like 2 weeks researching volcanoes every night, and I emailed my grandpa loads of Volcanoes information, and he did not email me back. He did call me to clarify. I just think it's funny that he didn't email me back. And you see where I put this here? Can't remember half of it now. That's why all of this text is here, to remind me about it. Okay? I got really into Volcanoes. I think it was spurred by a Hank Green video, or like a SciShow video or something like that. And it blew my mind. Well, it didn't actually blow my mind. I just got really, really like obsessed with it. And I think I got obsessed with it because I was like, whoa, I live in England. There's kind of nothing that crazy in England. Like in terms of terrain and natural things, there's just nothing's that crazy. Like sure, there's some cool stuff, but nothing like a volcano. There's nothing like that going on. So it's very interesting to me. And I got really obsessed with Yellowstone. So Yellowstone, this is going to be Americans in chat, and you guys will already know what that is. Yellowstone's a massive national park in the US, and it's very big. It's a very big national park as well. And it's very spectacular. Izumoki. It's a very big national park. And it's very cool. There's a lot of like hot vents and things like that. Hydrate. Thank you, Kate. How you doing? But it's a super volcano. If you don't know what a super volcano is, it's like a volcano, but super big. No, but really, it's just a gigantic volcano. And obviously, the majority of this volcano is below the ground, the visible ground that we see. But the national park, Yellowstone National Park, is a giant caldera. The caldera is basically when a volcano erupts and the like land rises, and after it erupts, it sinks. And that's why you get that like crater in the middle. That's essentially what a caldera is. And Yellowstone is an 86 kilometer wide caldera. What the hell? Like, I don't know. You think of you think of a volcano, you think of like Vesuvius, and you think about the big pit in the middle. 86 kilometers wide, that's huge. Okay? That's huge. The entire national park is in the caldera. That's why there's these like, I don't know if it's sulfuric. Yeah, it's sulfuric, like vents and things. It's so cool. It's so cool. And it is an active supervolcano. And basically, if it erupted, we're entering a nuclear winter, baby. There would be pyroclastic flow for like hundreds of kilometers, essentially. And for 1,000 kilometers, there would be molten ash like, I think it was like 3 feet of molten ash raining down from the sky onto the ground. And it would essentially fill so much of the sky with ash that the temperature of the planet would decrease because it would block out the sun. So we would enter essentially into a nuclear winter. So we kind of don't want it to explode. Now, some people think that it's going to, because basically there's these things called quakes, essentially like an earthquake, which is there's a lot of rumbling under Yellowstone. She's not going to. She's not due to erupt for like another 2 million years. She's active, but like it's just not going to be happening anytime soon. It's not going to happen. Don't even worry about it, baby. Like, don't even worry about it, girlies. Thank you, this guy. Would be so cool to be at Yellowstone when it erupts. Time 86-kilometer wide caldera. Actually, there's people who believe that if it does erupt again, it is not likely to erupt in the same way that it did in the past when it did create this caldera. It's much more likely to be smaller eruptions across the thing. So, yeah. So, next point. You see this little number here, 536 CE. This is a year that historians have called the worst year to be alive. It's not really a year, it's more like a decade. That's what I mean, Luan. It's just crazy how big it is. Like, that's just a national park, and all of it is a caldera. That's not even considering how the volcano is underneath that and spreads out underneath. That's just the tip. But yeah, 536 CE. It was sucked to be alive in this year. So basically, there are records of this year, and the Romans talked about the fact that there was no summer. And the sky turned a weird hue for months on end, and the crops didn't grow, and the temperature just stayed at this normal, like, kind of low level. Europe had mass famines due to the fact the crops wouldn't grow, and because of these mass famines, the plague started to thrive because people were malnourished and people were dying, and basically, they couldn't work out what went on because there's these descriptions of the sky kind of like blacking out, or not completely blacking out, but going a weird color and the sun not being able to get through. And for a while, they thought this was because of CE is just an alternative to AD. There's BCE and CE, and then there's BC and AD. It means the same thing. And they kind of then were like, well, maybe it's a volcano. Yeah, Common Era. It's the non-religious version, essentially. They were like, well, what if it was a volcano? Because the supervolcano would cover the sky in masses of ash. And they found out that the global temperature had decreased by 2.7 degrees, which is a lot. That is a lot for a temperature to decrease for just like out of nowhere. They now believe that this was caused by volcanoes in Iceland, multiple volcanoes in Iceland erupting, which we have seen in our lifetimes. A good 10 years ago or whatever, there was a big volcanic eruption in Iceland, and it caused ash to cover all of Europe, which fortunately it wasn't a massive eruption, but it did cause flights to be cancelled and lots of other random little things to go wrong. So yeah, I just think it's fun that volcanoes are part of the worst year in human history. For a lot of people, it would suck to be in that year. You don't want to go back in time to 536 CE. And I think that was very interesting that a major part of the reason that year sucked so much was as a result of volcanoes. Mauna Loa, she's the world's largest active volcano. The type of volcano that she is a shield volcano, which means it's got quite a domed look. It's very wide. It's like a shield. And there's some belief that she's reaching the end of one of her cycle, her stages. She has erupted, I think it was as recently as 2022. In human history. But yeah, there you go. World's biggest volcano. But when she's not big in a way that's damaging to that much of the, her cycle. She also, Mauna Kea, which I talk about later on in this presentation, is her twin. They're twinning. But Mauna Kea is inactive, so it's bigger than Mauna Loa, but isn't active anymore. Fun fact, in the 1880s, the loudest sound we have ever recorded in history, was as a result of a volcano, as of a result of Krakatoa erupting. And it erupted so hard that it was heard halfway around the world, and it's the loudest sound we have ever recorded. Something like that. Yeah, Squidward is Krakatoa in one of the SpongeBob episodes. But it erupted nearly continuously for 5 months, which I think is crazy. Like, we think of a volcanic eruption as like this one-time event. 5 months! She was just going and going and going and going for 5 months. And it just caused the loudest sound ever to be recorded. And I just think that's very interesting. 5 months, that's crazy long for a volcano to just keep erupting for. I think Krakatoa it must still be active, yeah. I don't think they go dormant that quickly. Campi Flegrei in Italy, anyway, is for those of you who are in the UK, I was obviously presenting this to my friends who are British, the closest supervolcano. Surprise! It's not just Yellowstone. There's a number of them. There's one in New Zealand. There's some underwater supervolcanoes, but our closest one is in Italy, and there is an entire town that sits above it. Worryingly, she's waking up. She's waking up. The city that sits right above the basis of this volcano has been rising. And the reason it's rising is because there's all of these gases building and there's magma and all of these things. So, little bit concerning. The city has risen like 4 feet or something like that, which is quite a lot to just happen. And over 54,000 quakes have been recorded since 2022 at the site of this supervolcano. So, people think she's waking up a bit. Realistically, though, in supervolcano terms, waking up still means you're not going to erupt for a very, very long time. Like, it's still not going to be anywhere near in our lifetimes or our children's or our grandchildren's, etc. So it's very unlikely that it's going to erupt anytime soon. But it just basically means she's not really that dormant anymore, which is a bit scary because she is a supervolcano. And the last time she erupted, which I believe was 76,000 years ago, the global temperature decreased by 9 degrees Celsius. That is a lot. That is a lot. And as a result, it was a very pivotal moment in the evolution of the human species, and it nearly ruined us. It nearly wiped us off the face of the planet, because decreasing the global temperature by 9 degrees, or at least the temperature in that region actually, obviously means you can't grow crops, your cattle, your animals aren't going to thrive, you are cold, more people will starve, more people will freeze. It nearly wiped us out. It was really, really, really bad. And I think it was something like they believed that it brought the human population down to like 20,000 across the globe. I don't cite me on that. I feel like that's the number I read. I could be wrong. But basically, it was a huge event that nearly wiped out humans because the temperature was so drastic. No, volcanoes cannot solve global warming because they block out the sun. And we need that. If anything, it would make it worse, because if you block out the sun, your plants can't grow, and then that's going to mean that they're not there taking in carbon dioxide anymore. But yeah, also, I just wanted to point out, in the 1980s, Mount St. Helen in America erupted. I think it was in America. Mount St. Helen? Yeah. Proper name, place name, backstory stuff. Erupted, and this is just crazy. Like, what do you mean? In one moment, the entire top of a mountain just blew off. Are you seeing that? That's crazy. That's so much. Where's it gone? And this is what creates the caldera, to clarify. This here will be the caldera. It's just wild to me that so, like, so much of the earth just is like this. Yeah. I think it's a very impressive picture. She was too funny. She went bald. Oh, I didn't know that. But yeah, really interesting to me. Got really interested in it for a while. I don't know why this is the only one that has an animation. New slide, new topic, tuberculosis. So, I've been listening to the John Green book, Everything is Tuberculosis, and I listen to it a lot when I'm at the gym. Goodbye, Doja Cat. Hello, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. I actually don't think this is that weird of a hyperfixation. Why? I'm noticing that viewership is going down. I'm really sorry if my geography facts aren't interesting to you, but I guess you're just a loser who doesn't like to learn. It's really good. I'm listening to the audiobook to clarify. I don't think it's that weird. Of a hyperfixation. Why? Because it's a very present global issue. Millions still die each year from tuberculosis. Just because it is not happening in the Western world does not mean that it is not happening. It is still so prevalent. And the reason I think it's really interesting is TB is one of the oldest diseases. It has been trying to wipe out humans since pretty much humans have existed, which is very impressive. Very, very impressive. And it is very much, it takes a very long time to mutate. So it's kind of just, it's been sticking around. SJ, she's probably not wrong. So back in the day, it was called consumption because if you caught tuberculosis, you kind of just wasted away. Yes, this is why. This is why they are trying to cull badgers because they carry tuberculosis. You'd kind of waste away and you would get this very sickly appearance, this very pale appearance, very thin, very gaunt. And it was kind of originally seen as like kind of not good, but almost like good in a way. There's a whole group of like British and European creatives and poets, including people like Edgar Allan Poe, who either got TB or had someone they knew who had TB, and they would often go off to the seaside because seaside air was thought to be good. And as such, it was sort of meant to reflect this quite innocent and creative and gentle soul. People thought it was tied to your personality and your your constitution as a human being. And so they kind of, for a while, tuberculosis was a disease of the upper and creative classes. And the way people looked when you became very ghastly, very thin, very frail, they kind of liked it. They aligned this with innocence. Because a lot of these people you became very small, and it was also linked to like that childhood innocence. This changed. TB is an illness of the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution caused mass spread of TB in the impoverished working classes in Britain. And as such, obviously, people were catching it. These families who all lived together in very close spaces all started catching it. And therefore, it was no longer this idea of, wow, you have a creative constitution, you're an innocent person, yada, yada. It was now associated with being dirty, even though they didn't understand how the spread of this disease worked. It was to do with being of poor moral character. They then kind of just flipped it on its head, and now they were like, actually, if you have TB, it means you're bad. You're bad, you're awful. And if you've ever watched stuff about Victorian era, there'll always be someone coughing into a handkerchief with blood and they have TB. But yeah, it kind of got flipped on its head. And then this idea of TB being as a result of either a poor genetic character or a poor moral standing started to spread. And this shame, this idea has very much still stuck around with TB. Not so much where we've begun to understand how it spreads and what causes it, but in certain communities where it does spread, there's still a lot of shame for those who get TB or for the families of those. And as such, as well, in the US, it was actually used, everything links back to TB, it was actually used as a way to try and convince African Americans that they should go back to being slaves, if you can believe it. Obviously, this is not true and is absolutely abhorrent. But basically, freed slaves had high rates of TB. Why? Well, white people at the time claimed that this was due to their freedom, and it showed that they had a weak nature and they needed to be dominated. This is obviously not true at all. That is racist. It was all based in racism. They said that that's why. Oh, when you were a slave, you had better health. Obviously, that's awful. What actually was happening is when they were freed, they were able to actually see doctors. They were able to see doctors. They were able to get diagnosed. When they were not free, they wouldn't be allowed to access a doctor, so they didn't get diagnosed. It's not that there were higher rates. The rates were the same. They just weren't diagnosed before. And now we're able to access it. And then awful, horrible people were like, actually, and it's very bad. So there's a lot of how TB is ingrained in racism. It's inherently involved in racism. It's inherently involved with the ethnic cleansing of indigenous people in America and Canada, because TB spread rapidly in conversion boarding schools. And because they targeted these populations, plunged them into poverty, it exacerbated this, and it was part of that cleansing. And so, yeah, TB is not just something that happened in the UK. It happened globally, and it actually stems in a lot of racism. That's also why when we are trying to go out there and help help people with TB in poorer countries where there's less education on what causes tuberculosis, we are going up against a lot of ingrained shame, a lot of just institutional racism, institutional shame and misunderstandings and biases. And also the fact that the big people who make medicine for TB don't want to sell it for less. They can, they don't want to, which makes it very inaccessible to, I don't think we're really meant to use the term third world countries anymore. I think that's deemed quite, but for that example, third world countries, places like Sierra Leone, most people cannot afford, what are you doing, Bodge? Most people cannot afford the medicine, and these big corporations who create the medicines are refusing to sell it for less. And that is meaning that it continues to not be able to get to the people who need it most. Fun fact, not fun, kind of fun though, off the back of cowboys, the American Wild West was built on the backs of people who moved to the west of the USA because there was dry air and they believed it would help alleviate symptoms. So TB presents as a wet mucus cough. So people thought, if you're living in a humid climate, that's bad. Go and move to the west. Go move to the west and it'll help you. So a lot of cowboys had TB. Yeah, there you go. There was a lot of tuberculosis in cowboys. I just found that really saying someone in the chat was saying their sister. Your sister was linking everything back to TB. Well, that's true. Everything links back. But yeah, it has some really awful histories and prejudice. Fun fact: Holzkern. This is a spawn. I didn't do this bit to my friends. This bit was not to my friends. That bit was just for you guys. You got that. That was just for you. We have a sponsor today. I'm just going to quickly sort that out so we're on the right page. Yippee! I'm going to go sort that out so you can see. But yeah, we're sponsored by Holzkern today, which do a lot of cool bits and bobs. Why is oh my God, it's not. There we go. Let's go and bring that interval down to 15. There you go. I'm also, okay, I should be able to show this to you now. Yay! Oh, and hang on. Yay! There you go. Okay. Why is that why is there a bar at the bottom? That's weird. Because there's not on my screen. Okay, well, I don't know. Holzkern! They are working with us this month. Yay! Everybody say yay! And they're actually giving away some vouchers. So you can get 100 euros worth of jewelry. So I'm going to be doing some giveaways as the weeks go on. But you can get some amazing stuff. They also do watches and even bags, it seems. But I got a few bits from Holzkern. I got some little bits and bobs. I'll show you. I actually wore some of my Holzkern stuff to the Owen and Luan wedding. Why? Because it's very, very nice. It's very pretty. So I love this. I don't know what my face is going to be blocking. So I didn't get this, but I do love this. I love that it looks like you're looking into a mystical little mirror. But it's made with lapis lazuli. It's very pretty. I'll see if I can find what I got. They've got so much cool stuff. I know Owen has worked with them before and got some really, really nice wooden watches. This is what I got, this panoramic necklace. I really love the double layer. And this little pearl at the bottom is very pretty. Very, very pretty. Loved it. Very, very pretty. I like it. And I got some matching earrings with that as well. So they do that also in silver. But yeah, a lot of these sets, if you go on them, you can get them in white or gold or thingy. I don't know if it shows it here. It's a layering. You can layer them. And yeah, they have matching earrings as well, which are the ones I got. But they have so many different styles. I really like this. Like seaside stuff is very popular at the moment. So this is a big win for a lot of people. I did consider the heart, but I quite liked that this was a layered one. There was some butterfly stuff in. These are new. Oh, this is a new one. These little purple ones. I do love this. It's like seashell type thing. But yeah, I also got oh, I really like that. That's new. Wait, they got new stuff in. Wait, that's so nice. Oh my gosh, I really like that. That's very pretty. They've got new stuff in. That's so pretty. It's so nice. I'm trying to see where. Okay, let's go gold. View products. I'm going to try and show you the other necklace I got as a set, which also came with a ring. Unless they don't do it anymore. Oh, these new ones, these little dewdrops ones are really, really nice. They're very delicate. Oh, wait, maybe they're not doing it anymore. Oh, okay, I can't even show it, but I got a really pretty blue one. But they've got some new lines out, which is very nice. They also do watches. I didn't get a watch because I'm not a watch wearer, and I didn't want to get something that I knew I wasn't going to wear. But if you're looking for something to wear on a nice occasion, I feel like watches are quite a nice accessory. Thank you, Candy, for copying that. Then, look, they got little flowers in. Obviously, it's quite an expensive watch, but they are very good quality. They're very pretty. But yeah, I have my link. And they do stuff for men as well. Not just men's watches, but men's jewelry as well. I think Owen got something with like a wooden necklace, a little wooden strip, and it looks really, really nice. It's some of his really nice, just high quality stuff, and it's lovely. The rings are also really fun. Like, I like these ones. I'll try and see if they've got the ring that I got. But there's a bunch of different styles. So if you're someone who likes something that's more, like, not simple, but I guess simple, then you can go for something like this, where it's just a band. You can go for something that's a little bit more, I'd almost say it's a little bit boho in the vibes. Or you get, like, this kind of thing. I love this kind of, like, it's like meant to be like a stream, but like that kind of stamped, hammered metal vibe. Which I really, really like. And then, yeah. And they got a lot of wooden accents, which is very nice. And the boxes that you get them in are little wooden boxes, which I really like. It just feels a little bit more sustainable. Here's what I got. I got this, but I got it in blue. It's called the Spectral Ring. There it is. I got this. It's gorgeous. I have really started to like blue recently, and I got that with the matching necklace that you can see here. And it's really just lovely to have little matching sets like that. It's very nice to have a little matching set. It's not very common for me, and I feel like I've struggled to sort of like treat myself to jewelry before, and to give myself that like little treat, and to, you know, I feel like, you know, you hear of like grandparents passing down their jewelry, and I feel like it's hard to find good quality jewelry these days that like actually is going to stand like long-term wear. And a Holzkern, it does. So that's awesome. We love that. We love that very much. I need to work out at the end of stream how to do a giveaway, because they're giving away some codes to get 100 euros worth of stuff. So yeah, stick around to the end of stream and I will do that. But for now, we're going back to this slideshow. Wow. Oh, I can move this. There we are. But yes, thank you to Holzkern for sponsoring us for this month. The link comes up every now and then. Candy's also pinned it. It is a lot of euros. There's a lot of euros to spend on lovely little bits and bobs. But yeah, if you win, you can treat yourself to some really nice jewelry. or a watch if you're a watch person. I'm a jewelry person, though. I think you can tell. But we'll continue with our presentation of hyperfixations I've had this year. Mummies. When does the guest show up? It's me. I'm the guest. I'm your host and your guest. Not Lady Diana, Lady Di. Specifically, I'm not talking about ancient Egyptian mummies. I am talking about, I don't know how I found this. Basically, they found some incredibly well-preserved mummies in China, and these were wet mummies. They were preserved in a liquid, and they are basically some of the most well-preserved bodies ever. They are 2,000 years old, and they still had skin elasticity, which means if you pull up on your skin, it goes back down. It doesn't just stay there. It goes back down. It has that movement. You can move your joints and all of this. And I'm going to turn my brightness down. I'm feeling sick. It's not from the mummies. It's just my light's too bright. And it was really interesting to me. I just find that kind of crazy. The fact that their bodies were so intact and so basically like well preserved, they were able to do an autopsy, and from that they were able to identify what this particular one lady died, why she died, how old she was when she died, what her lifestyle was like, and not just the general foods that she ate, but specifically what she ate the day she passed away and how long before she died did she eat them. For example, she had watermelon seeds in her, I think it was watermelon seeds in her stomach, and they were not digested yet. And they were still in her stomach, which means she ate them 2 hours before she passed. And I don't think, I don't have to put it into perspective. 2,000 years! And they found the seeds in her stomach. Her fingerprints were still intact. 2,000 years! Her skin was still elasticated. They knew her blood type. And it told them so much about the Han Dynasty as well. Like, they could tell that she was a woman of quite noble status from the foods that she ate, but also the clothes that she was wearing. I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, Sarah. Yeah. They knew that because she ate very poorly, she had heart problems. She had a lot of issues with her health because she wasn't looking after her health. She was indulging in her lifestyle, her very, a very like noble lifestyle, and she very much enjoyed that. But yeah, she still had her fingerprints. I really encourage you to look it up. You maybe look if there are pictures, and they will probably be shown if you look it up. So be aware of that if you do want to. But I actually think it's really, really interesting. And we actually have not been able to recreate the preservation liquid that she was found in. It had quite high levels of mercury, and as a result, when people who were doing the autopsy performed it, and some of the liquid got on their skin, it caused a rash that persisted for 3 months. So it's just kind of crazy. We don't know exactly what this liquid was comprised of. They've not actually been able to work that out because obviously, when she was buried, that would have then caused a lot of chemicals and things in the rock to seep in. But yeah, it's really interesting. And we do obviously know now how to preserve things, but not to the extent where we know how to get them to last for 2,000 years with that same movement, that elasticity. It's just really interesting. I think at least in the UK, you're brought up and you're taught about like ancient Egyptian mummies. You're never really taught about this, even though this was relatively recent, but not that recent, and you're not really taught about it. And I find that interesting. I wonder why, because I guess maybe it's because these rituals around death were less common, but we actually don't really know that. Her burial site was like 60 feet or 16 feet underground. So there might be more people. There might be more mummies, but also at the same time, I think finding stuff like this, I find it very interesting. From a kind of, I guess, an ethical point of when do we just leave people? When do we leave these sites at rest? When do we accept that is a part of history and we don't go in and we don't sort of come along and bash everything up, you know? and I understand there's this need to want to go scientifically further and understand our histories, but I think it does bring in a great question of when do we go, we let that be. We let that be a place of rest. We let that be what they wanted it to be thousands of years ago. And I just find that interesting. Anyway, it's really cool. You should look it up. Mount Everest! Just... do you remember when I had my ADHD assessment at the start of the year and I was shocked when she implied that I probably have autism? Starting to make sense now. Starting to make sense now. Anyway, it's actually not that bad. It's very interesting. I think maybe I could climb it. If I locked in, took some Imodium, some ibuprofen maybe. Wham bam. Let's do it. Yeah, I would just constantly watch Everest videos for like 2 weeks. I was doing work, script writing, Everest video on the second monitor. Cooking dinner, Mount Everest video on. These things, I lock in, okay? I lock in. I mean, Everest it's in a beautiful part of the world. It is a beautiful, if you've ever seen the videos of the view, it's gorgeous. I truly think it's crazy to think humans could ever see and be in those points. But fun fact, I do low-key think Everest is a bit of a scam. Why? It's not the most dangerous mountain to climb. K2, which I believe is in the border of Pakistan, I could be wrong, I think I'm right, is more dangerous. And it's why no one climbs it. It's got a much lower climb rate or successful summit rate as well. It's got a much lower successful summit rate. This was a joke. Imagine dying climbing not even the tallest mountain in the world. Low-key embarrassing. Obviously very tragic. Anybody who's lost their lives up there, especially the Sherpas who are not doing this for fun. They're doing it to make a living. But also for those millionaires who just decide to go climb Mount Everest for an ego boost, not even climbing the most dangerous mountain. Just saying. Additionally, it's not even the tallest mountain. It is the highest mountain. It's the highest mountain in the world. There is no taking that away. It is the highest mountain in the world. However, it is not the tallest. That is Mauna Kea, as I mentioned earlier, the twin of Mauna Loa, who is an active volcano. Mauna Kea is actually taller from base to peak. So if you stood at the very bottom of Mauna Kea and looked up, it would be bigger than Mount Everest would appear. It's the highest point on Earth. It is not actually the tallest mountain. So yeah, it's because Mauna Kea starts below sea level. So Mauna Kea is taller. It's 10,200 meters taller, which is about 4,000 feet taller than Everest. But because it starts below sea level, it is not the highest point, which Everest is the highest point in the world. So I just feel like sometimes Everest, everyone's like, oh, it's the tallest mountain in the world. Wrong. It's not the tallest mountain. It's not the tallest mountain in the world. Mauna Kea is. Just don't think we should forget that. But I do think it's really interesting. I also then was finding out about Sandy Irvine and George Mallory. They were missing for over 75 years. They went missing in the 1920s and they were found in 1999. And it's quite surprising how well preserved they were. And I think it's very interesting to know that even 100 years ago, 100 years really isn't that long, but we were still trying to do these things. Back then as well, we had much less technology. We had our kind of development in keeping ourselves warm with clothing. We've got a lot of these like Gore-Tex things now. And people were still going out there and trying to explore and learn about the world. And they were gone for 75 years and they were finally found. The mystery around them was finally over. What happened to them? They finally knew. And I think it's very interesting. They're very young. But I've put this point here, which my friend bullied me for using a Kurt Vonnegut quote, but I think it's very interesting how humans have this deep desire to see the Earth's extremes and conquer them. We like this idea of conquering things and going to the top of the world, and I'm on the top of the world, and I've done it, and I've done the biggest mountain ever. And we are just very curious. We have this deep desire to learn, to experience, to see things. And and experience them. But we are also really stupid. Like, Everest could not try and kill you more. Everything about Everest is not, like, it's not a place humans should be. It's inhabitable. It's the same with, like, the Death Valley and how hot it gets there. Caving, all of these things. We're so curious. We want to experience things, but we are so stupid. The world keeps trying to kill us, and we keep going, oh, yeah, I want some of that. And there was just this quote of, tiger got to sleep, bird got to land, man got to tell himself he understands. And it's just about how humanity just always wants to understand why, to find out, to see for themselves. And I think that's very interesting. And I think Mount Everest is a real example of that. How we go to space. Yeah, we keep going to these places that are outright going to kill us. And we always want to know. And I think that's very beautiful and very stupid. However, in regards to Everest, please stop climbing it. Sherpas are the people who each year go out and lay the routes to climb Everest. They are local people who've grown up there, and they are very seriously underpaid. They risk their lives every single year because the demand to climb Everest is at an all-time high. And basically these companies that will go out to people and be like, yeah, you can go through us and we'll make sure you can climb Everest, charge a hell of a lot of money. We're talking 50,000+ pounds. But Sherpas only see a fraction of this. They do not see anywhere near that amount. They are struggling to get by. Their families are struggling to get by, and yet they risk their lives doing the most dangerous thing in the world. And they are immensely knowledgeable. They have generations of knowledge, but Sherpas have still died. And unfortunately, a lot of the time, Sherpas pass away as a result of the parties. Not always, it's not always their fault, but there are times when they pass away as a result of the parties that they are taking up the mountain, not listening to them, not following their guidance, and thus putting the team in danger. And I think that is really, really sad. And I think I understand people want to climb, but a lot of the time it is American billionaires and millionaires wanting to go over and say that they climbed it. They're doing it as an ego boost. There's no real reason. You don't need to climb Mount Everest. You have no need to do it. And in doing so, you are putting these people at risk. You are continuing this cycle of exploitation. And I think that's kind of cringe. I think it inherently exploits locals from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. And I think, I think if you want to climb Everest, ask yourself why you're doing it. Why? Because there's no actual really... The litter is awful as well. Yeah, it's really bad. There's a real sense of entitlement and ego. But very interesting. Very interesting. I didn't actually care too much about the... That's bad. I didn't care too much about the geography of Mount Everest, but more the history. Okay. We're nearing the end. This is Steve MRE on YouTube. And I need to know if any of you have ever watched this. Steve MRE. Luan, is this because you know this, or are you asking MREs? ? You've heard of him? Okay. You've heard of him? Mm-hmm. This note here. This was just funny to me. We were just chilling before bed one night. We were just chilling. And I literally went, yippee! When I realized this guy on YouTube had uploaded a new video. And I had to explain to Ollie that it's a man eating 80-year-old granola bars. I've put not very sexy, but it's also just very funny. It's very funny. That I don't think anybody would ever expect that that's what you're yippieing about. So basically, Steve MRE is a guy who he finds military ration. MRE is a military ration, and he finds these military rations and he eats them. And not just old ones, he'll do modern day ones, but he's eaten rations from the Vietnam War, from the Boer War, from World War I, from World War II. Any war in history, he's eaten rations from. And I didn't realize I swore on this slide. Sorry, guys. He's eating musty old food, and I've never been so locked in my life. I'm so locked in. It's so interesting to me. This right here, can you see my mouse? Oh, you can't. I'm covering it. 1 second. Okay. You see this? This underneath here? That right there. Hi, Stevie. That is a ration from the Boer War, which occurred in 1901 and 1902. That is 120 years old. And this bit at the bottom that I'm covering again, this bit at the bottom, I believe this is what, it was sort of like a beef stock, like Bovril. And he put hot water in it, and he drank it. I think he ate the Boer War one. Oh, Stevie, please do guess. And this one on the right, that isn't blocked, is from World War II. So as you can see, there was sugar, there were a lot of sweets, a lot of it's very high carbohydrate, high sugar. And he has smoked cigarettes from World War II, World War I, eaten sweets, eaten chocolate, eaten their like beef type stews. And I find it so interesting. So interesting. And I think I've put here, I think the reason for this is that, the reason I find this so interesting, is because sugar is a lot safer. Yes. Anything that's got high sugar content is much safer for him to consume because sugar is a natural preservative. Because it's interesting, Melia, I think. It's very interesting. That's what I find fascinating is, we will never get to experience the world as past generations experienced it. We can see pictures, we can see packaging, we can do all these recreations. We are never going to step in the shoes and really see that world as it was. You're never going to step onto the street and it's back in 1940. You're never going to eat all the recipes for like popular foods have changed. Like you might have the same name brand chocolate bar. It doesn't taste the same anymore. Nothing tastes the way it used to. Nothing is the way it used to. We can never understand what it was like. I have grandparents who have said that back in the 60s, chicken tasted different because of how we mass farm these days. And I think it's just so fascinating because eating a 70-year-old war ration, an 80-year-old war ration, is as close as you are ever going to get to experiencing hit that moment in history, that moment of time, the way someone did when it was intended to go out. Like he's getting as close to that history as you really can. Like you go to museums and you see these recreations of like, oh, this is like an old chocolate bar. No, he's got the old chocolate bar and he's eating it and he's telling you what it tastes like. And like some of the brands on there are brands that we know, like Cadbury's. And he's like, yeah. And I just think that's very, very interesting. And it's not just random. I mean, it is a bit random. This is clearly a hobby that he has. He's very interested in like old war things. But yeah, fun fact, he has to be super cautious because botulism is really bad and will kill you. And he has to be very careful if he's ever eating old rations that might contain like meat or milk, because those are the most likely to carry botulism. So if it's swollen or rusted in any way, he won't eat it because it'll kill him. So it's only if they're sealed, in which case you can assume no bacteria has gotten in or thrived within. If anything is swollen, he won't eat it because that means that the bacteria in it has been living and has produced gases. But I just find it really interesting, like getting these glimpses of what the world was like and seeing someone experience that firsthand. And honestly, if you asked me if I would have a sweet from World War II, an 80-year-old sweet, I'd do it. I want to do it. I want to taste it. I want to know. You're never going to get to experience something like that. And I just think that's really interesting. No surprise, I did history at uni. So a lot of this is very on brand. A lot of it's very on brand. Like my interest in Mount Everest is mostly history based. So, you know, Sarah, maybe it would introduce some weird bacteria into my stomach that would fix me. But anyway, I actually would again I would absolutely recommend go and look up Steve MRE on YouTube and look up one of his World War II ration things. It's really fun. It's really, you might think it's kind of boring, but just go watch it. If you watch it on 2x speed, just go get a glimpse of what it was like for just one video, But yeah, I think it's cool. Also, I've learned a lot. He taught me about there was during World War II, German soldiers would be given chocolate bars that contained cocaine as a morale boost. And you would also get these, they would give out these tablets during the World Wars that were morale boosting tablets. And these were to only be used under very severe circumstances. It was meth. It was methamphetamines, guys. It might have been meth in the chocolate bars. Yeah, anyway, these morale tablets, methamphetamines, were only to be used in like very severe survival situations for these soldiers. Methamphetamines. It's just really interesting. And he's opened a few of those. He obviously doesn't eat them. I told you it got worse as we went on. It's just Mark from Severance. I once sent my friend Jack 17 posts in a row of Mark from Severance edits in one night. It's just a really good show, guys. I was obsessed with Mark for like a month. Worse he looked, the more I was obsessed. The more screen time I wanted him to have. Big time. Very good show. You should watch it. It's very, very good. That's all I have to say. Next, and the final slide. Top Gear. Now, my UK guys in the chat will know this one. Those of you who aren't from the UK, you might not, mess with this one as much. I love Top Gear, guys. I love Top Gear. I can't even drive. I would watch the Top Gear specials, and then I'd go on my phone and I would watch Top Gear compilations. And I realized during this process that I dress quite a bit like Richard Hammond sometimes. When I put jeans on and a leather jacket, and I think when I was wearing a shirt when I realized this. Hi, darling. Thank you. I was like, wow, I'm dressing like Richard Hammond. Here's the thing. That means some of you guys do too, because I know some of you dress like me. And I cried watching the end of the Grand Tour, which was like the sequel to Top Gear when they got kicked off the BBC's Top Gear and moved to Amazon. Also, everybody my age fancied Richard Hammond back in the day. Yeah, Stevie, I didn't want to say you, but I was talking about you there. I was absolutely talking about you. Yeah, I just really like Top Gear. This made my friends laugh a lot. I don't watch Top Gear right now, because if I do, I will fall off the edge and start watching Top Gear stuff constantly again. Can't even drive, don't even like cars that much. They're also, a lot of the old jokes that they did, so out of touch. Not good. Straight up kind of homophobic at times. Like, not good. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good show. It's interesting. I saw, if anyone's watched it, there's a bit in Top Gear about the Dacia Sandero and how they don't like it as a car. Ollie and I were at a Tesco car park the other day. I saw a Dacia Sandero. I made a stop so I could take a picture of it. Stupid. Anyway, that was my presentation on, and now Stevie, are you listening? Everything I've hyperfixated on over the last 12 months, but it gets worse as we go on. So if you've sat here for the last hour, listening to that, how was Top Gear last? I just think if you look at me as a person, like, I think it's more that the guys from Top Gear, I would argue, have questionable political opinions, and some of the things that they say aren't great. Like, the humor has not aged well. And I'm like, to to love Top Gear that I don't even drive. I can't drive. I have no right to like Top Gear that much. But yeah. Yeah, like the history, geography stuff, like it is actually interesting. Once you start researching those things, you're like, oh, yeah, they're kind of cool. Anyway, that's everything that I've hyperfixated on in the last like 12 months. Yeah, well, Sarah, yeah, that's what I said in the early slides. I said, this presentation is not funny. It's deeply neurodivergent. I've tricked you into being seated while I info dump. Luann, you should. Absolutely. It's so much fun. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Rose. Thank you for the bitties. I appreciate it a lot. If you have sat by this, thank you. When it was on the beep, that's what I'm saying. Oh, Stevie, I'm sorry. I hope it resolves for you. Yeah, that was everything I've hyperfixated on. I really enjoyed making that presentation. Thank you for the biddies, for the tiss and piap. Portal, I'm sure. Well, it might be longer term. You might have some longer term hyperfixations. I just thought it'd be funny. You can see what I get interested in, and what distracts me when I'm not doing my work. And also, I don't know. I kind of hope that maybe maybe some of it will interest you, and you'll go and research some bits. I really do recommend it. Yeah, Portal, that works too. I really do. Love the string. Give me 20 more of them. I think it's just kind of interesting to deep dive into random topics every now and then. So I really do recommend, if any of it kind of even remotely took your interest, go look into it. Spend an hour. Do some research. It's fun. And then you never know. Honestly, it might seem really, sometimes I felt like, oh, knowing like research like this is kind of pointless. Like, it's not really taking me anywhere. It's very surface level knowledge. Like, ultimately, I'm not an expert on any of these things. I'm very far from. Yeah, you'll be interested. Like, it's very surface level knowledge, and sometimes you can wonder why you're bothering, because it's not like it's going to really get you anywhere. But then, honestly, random stuff like this, let me tell you, any of you have social anxiety, one day it's going to come in clutch, okay? One day knowing some obscure fact about Mount Everest or something like that is going to come in clutch. Or you're going to, like today I went and got my nails done. You can't really tell. I got basic ones today. I wanted something plain. Today because I wanted to give my nails something lighter. Gel is quite heavy, so I just got a B-ab today. But I was talking to my nail artist about the Summer I Turned Pretty, because she watches it as well. So you never know your random niche interests, and you'll like, especially I get quite their builder gel, yeah, but it's just the builder gel today. There's no like additional gel toppers, which is what I wanted. I wanted them a bit lighter on my nails, to give them a bit of a break. Is that series niche? No, it's not niche. But your hyperfixation doesn't have to be niche. It's very mainstream. But like, that's what I mean. Sometimes you might think having like 10 random fixations in a year could be bad or like not that helpful. But I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Like, yeah. You never know when it's going to come in clutch. Ring, like on the phone. Do 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 do. I don't, but I can go and check because she does tag usually. Oh. Wait, what were you trying to say, Liz? No, there's nothing bad about having something you're interested in. I mean, I just like, sometimes I felt like it's a waste of my time when I spend 2 hours randomly like fixating on something. But I'm saying it's not. Like, just because you don't have an expert level of knowledge, surface level knowledge is helpful. It's why old people have so much to say, because they have a lifetime of experience and surface level knowledge. Yeah, I see. But yeah, I don't know. Thanks for sitting and listening to that. I hope it was fun. Oh, well, I appreciate that, Luminous Sky. I request another next month. I don't. This is a year of hyperfixations. You get another one of these ones next year. But I'm happy to do another. What I want to do is I want to do this. I mean, JoJo's doing this tonight, actually. A presentation night or a presentation stream where I get people, my friends, to come and present some as well. So, thank you for the bibbies, guys. So I'll get Luan to do a presentation. I'll do a presentation. That's what I would really like to do. But they'd probably have to be slightly smaller. Because I can't make people wait around for me to present for 40 minutes if someone else isn't doing this long. But yeah, thanks for turning up to chat you on. It's because I originally was going to do this on Sunday because I presented these to my friends on Saturday, but then we did the very fun hide and seek mod on Minecraft, which again I really want to do another stream of that with some other friends. And I want to do that again. But I was going to do this on Sunday and then I didn't. So I was like, okay, well, we'll do it today. And it worked out because I was delayed to stream anyway. And this is a shorter one. Oh, thank you, Flobell. Stevie, that's a great topic. I really recommend, by the way, hosting a presentation night with your friends or friend. Just give yourself an excuse to spend 10 minutes talking about something you're really interested in. It's really fun. And here's the thing. You might think your friends aren't interested in what you got to say. They will be. They'll be sat. Unless, like, your interest is, like, I don't know, fax machines or something. Then maybe they... No, but you think they won't. Like, my friend Katie, she's sometimes in chat, did a presentation on the most impactful Glee songs. I can't stand Glee. Was I sat and ready? Yes. Yes, I was. Because I wanted to know why she thought certain songs were more impactful. I recommend it. But yeah. Okay. Thanks for joining, guys. I hope you had fun. That's such a good topic. The world of fungi. That is a really good topic. That is a banging idea. Impact on rats SMP. Yeah, there you go. I actually did an additional presentation for my friends. I broke the rules. I didn't just do one. Oh my god, thank you, Portal. Oh, yep, I will do that before we go away. I need to work out how I'm going to do this. Okay. Maybe I can do this? Okay. I think... Okay, let me just see if I can set this up. I should have done this before, really. Okay. Add new command. Okay. Let me try something. There is no current... Okay, I can sort this out. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay, chat. I'm sorting out the giveaway. Okay, cost 0, 1. Okay, so there you go. Okay. So please, you can enter the giveaway here. So Holzkern are giving out, they've given me some codes. And these codes allow you. Hi, Gracie! These codes, let me find it. Are 100 euros worth of gift cards for Holzkern, which we looked at earlier. And I've got them to give away. So you guys can literally enter that. I'll give you until 1834. Actually, I'm just going to set a timer. You have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes. Timer. Wait, stopwatch. There you go. I'm going to wait until it says 2. So that's 100 euros, which is enough for like a necklace or a ring, or even a ring and a necklace, depending which ones you're getting. It could definitely go a long way towards a watch. So yeah. It doesn't cost money to enter. No. The earrings are gorgeous. They're very, very, very pretty. And I'll be doing one of these this week and next week and the final week of September. So if you want to have a look, then there you go. So if we get it, do you want us to use your link? Yes, preferably yes. But you technically don't have to. You can only enter it once. It only lets you enter once, so don't worry. If you've used the command, it will be entering you. All I ask is that please make sure. Actually, no, I can do this a different way. But yeah, you got another minute. But yeah, you can get 100 euros worth of vouchers. And I believe the way the vouchers work, I've checked, there shouldn't be any limit on location. I'm literally going to draw the winner in a minute, Flobell. It's a very quick giveaway. So I will literally tell you in 1 minute's time who has won the giveaway. But I don't believe there's any like global limitations. I asked on that, but it is in euros, your voucher. So if you're from the UK, that's like £90 worth. I don't quite know what that is in like the US, but basically whatever the equivalent is in your currency, it'll always be 100 euros worth in your currency. But yeah, and they're very kind to do this because we're already working with them, and then they went, do you know what? We're also going to do this. And I was like, thank you. That's very wonderful because, yeah, they've already given me the codes. It's very easy. I can literally just fire them at you and you can get some wonderful, wonderful jewelry. Or a watch. I keep saying jewelry because those are my favorite bits. And you could always put it towards a bag if you were liking something. Yeah, there's some really nice butterfly necklaces. Okay, we've hit 2 minutes. I'm going to stop. Yeah, $117. I'm gonna. Okay. Close giveaway. And then I'm going to go draw a winner. Yeah, there will still be shipping. So that is the only thing you have to consider. If you get the voucher, you might still have to cover the shipping costs, but that'll be all you have to cover. Okay. Drum roll. I'm drawing a winner. Fleur! Okay. Here you go. That is you. If you are this person, hello. Please make sure you have whispers on Twitch because I will DM you right now. I will send you a message on Twitch and I will just send you your code. So do you have whispers open? Let me know. If not, we can do this via different means, but that would be super helpful. Yay! You want a voucher? I'll literally just share that with you. I believe you should be able to use it instantly. Obviously, if you can use my link, that would be great as well. But yeah. Yay! Yay! You can always have a look. See, like I said, I'll be giving away another one of these codes. I've got 2 more of these codes to give away. So you can always have a little look-see. And then next time we're talking about Holzkern, you can try your luck. I can't say I know exactly I'll be doing the next giveaway, but I'll try to make sure it's in the Discord post next time. So, yeah. Fleur, I have sent you a whisper. Let me know once you have seen it. And I can then send you your code. But yay! Thank you to Holzkern. Massively appreciate it. And yeah, they'll be with us for September. I'm now going to go raid into someone. I'll be back streaming tomorrow. I'm going to do an additional stream tomorrow because we're not doing one on Saturday. Actually, am I? I don't know. Hopefully, Fleur was in chat, yeah. Hopefully, I'll be doing a stream tomorrow. I've got some bits that I need to plan before I go to Paris. I look like Wallace and Gromit there. So if I can, I'll be streaming tomorrow. But if not, there will be another Charlotte Tilbury stream on Thursday, in which we'll be doing another wonderful makeup look. But I think we're just doing them for ourselves on that day. So we'll be doing chatting with Cassie, and I'm going to be showing her some more Minecraft. I think I'm going to bring her onto Misadventures even, and so she can see what modded Minecraft is like and some of the stuff that people make on there. I want to give her a tour of the Misadventures world. So we'll be doing another Charlotte Tilbury one. I give Paris vibes. Thank you. I'm really excited to go. Very excited. But yeah, I'm going to try and stream tomorrow. Just another Minecraft fun one with you guys. And then on Thursday, we'll have another Charlotte Tilbury one, which I believe there will be another Charlotte Tilbury giveaway. So you guys got giveaways galore this week. But yeah, I won't be streaming on Saturday as I am in Paris, of course. But I will be back in time on Sunday. Sunday's stream might be a little bit later, depending on how my trains go. So, and I'll probably have literally just gotten through the door and go live. But yeah, Sunday there will be a stream. It just might be a bit later than our normal time. But I still wanted to go live and say hello to you guys and tell you about the trip. Okay, we're going to go raid Miss Becky Amon. She's doing some GeoGuessr, I think. Let's check. Yep, there she is. This is fun. I love this. I can just spy on my friends. What time is stream on Thursday? It's at 2 p.m. I know that's a bit inconvenient for those of you who have school and college and uni, etc., but that is the time that we do them there. And also, I have to get on a train afterwards. So, but yeah, thanks for gaming. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for all jobs. Yeah. Thanks for listening to my silly presentation, and I hope it was interesting to you. And also, you should read John Green's book. It's really good. It's really good.